And today, actually, I'm going to speak about AI in the context why AI fails at business decision making. Few words about me. My background is data science, but that happened that actually currently I'm working in product management, still keeping the same domain, actually data and AI, with a goal to transform complex data into something useful and impactful, something that can bring actually value to user. So I'm working in data governance and in business processes, and somehow I still believe that if we try to find out how to integrate AI to business correctly, we are going to have the value. So with that in mind, let's actually go closer to the topic of today. We all know that several years ago when GenAI appeared, well, we were all expected some wonderful transformations because again, like more AI, that just means smarter insights, some better strategy for business, and probably some replacement in terms of decision makers. Because if I have so smart AI, well, why do I need all that complex process around? Let's make decisions as fast as possible. And classically, with all the AI, not only with GenAI, well, automation, accuracy, like when AI is taking all manual and dirty job, it's what was expected. In the reality, unfortunately, we are not there yet. And in a lot of businesses, we have a little bit like strange situation when decision makers, they do not trust AI at all. People realize that AI is costly, so it's not so simple to keep something that is not your free ChatGPT subscription. And in most of the cases, they also do not know how and where to put the AI. Well, if we go to some backup of the stuff that was said just now, like there are a lot of data around that actually, yes, organizations are using AI, at least for one business function. But the issue is that at least 40% of agentic AI projects will be cancelled by actually 2027. 80% of AI projects fail, and actually only 21% of organizations can tell that using GenAI, they were able to redesign or improve their workflows somehow like significantly. All that is not super good for AI, especially for AI in business. And from my practice, there are several typical reasons why AI can fail. Well, kind of spoiler, all that related to data and information. But root causes are different. So that means that different solutions should be found on how to overcome all that. So the first root cause, the first actually reason is data quality. So like data quality always matters. The second, that AI doesn't have the context that we have. The third, that we don't have alignment between AI and humans. And the fourth, well, it would be like super straightforward, by AI is not human. And that's also an issue. So if I try to take those issues like one by one, like the most probably visible and old, it's actually data quality challenge. Despite the fact that we have all that like large language models, like all the hype around, we even have a concept that is called AI-ready data now. The issue with garbage in, garbage out is still there. So if you have bad input, whatever you do with your AI, the output would be bad. So you can see like on this particular slide that actually I put the tweet. Okay, in that time it still was Twitter. Like from 2013, that 80% of time data scientists spent prepare data and 20% of time spent complain about that. And unfortunately, nothing changed. We still have a lot of issues, and probably the most important are incompleteness of data. When we miss data, we miss metadata, whatever. Bias, because again, like when we work with historical data, who knows what's inside? Well, simply data is old and also data is inconsistent. And this inconsistency, it could be in both in formats, yeah, like, and also in data logic. So that's all actually bring issues to UI and to business interpretation. Let me show like just two use cases here, yeah, like to show actually where and why AI can be mistaken because of wrong data behind. I will not speak about the fact that, okay, like we need to gather all data, we need to explain what is there and so on. I do hope that those concepts of data governance are already kind of in place. Yeah, like, but other example, yeah, like if we have outdated data and AI is not actually kind of aware about that. We still remember COVID, and here you can see, for example, the retail before COVID, during and after. Yeah. So if AI predicts demand on wrong part of this data, the prediction will be wrong. And the results of that predictions will be, I would say, terrible for business. Yeah, like it's pure financial losses from extra inventory. Yeah, like, and from not answering the customer demand. The second case that actually also, I would say, critical currently, because we speak more and more about influence of AI to everything that we have, especially to ethical processes about responsible AI and so on. AI is actually not working super well with biased data. It was years ago with narrow AI models. Yeah, here you can see Amazon example, where actually the bias was found on gender-based. Yes, so like the old data like underestimated the ability of women to find the job, and this bias was actually populated to the nowadays models and nowadays outcome. With Gen AI, to actually to make the same mistake is even easier. The second issue that we have with AI, it's actually in business, it's lack of context. So it's not about metadata itself. It's not about description of data. Yeah, it's about lacking context of the business. And the issue is that algorithms, they operate based on patterns that we found in data. So some rules, some laws that AI was able to find based on the information that it was trained. But it's much more difficult for AI to actually gather some kind of broader business insights that for humans seems to be super evident. And here we begin to have kind of lack of balance between a human and AI. So in terms of AI decision making, yeah, AI is working on patterns. AI is good in interpreting any rules and super nice for short-term optimization. At the same time, when we speak about the ability to understand the business context, well, here we have a huge gap. I would say that from one point of view, humans are guilty. Okay, humans are always guilty. Okay, so humans fail to provide the needed information to AI. Yeah, but despite all the like best practices of prompt engineering or whatever, well, sometimes we just do not understand what exactly should be provided and why. And then we begin to actually accumulate the wrong predictions and wrong decisions because we put or we didn't put actually wrong context. So here, for example, well, super classical example when we have the failure of context. If you ask AI to propose you a strategy for sales, yeah, like to be able to sell as much as possible, to get new markets, to get new clients and so on, well, a lot of models just propose you actually to significantly decrease the prices in short term. So it's super nice because if you decrease the price, the sales volume will increase. Yeah, so it's like basic microeconomics, nothing to object here. But the issue is that lack of context can actually lead to the huge mistake. Because when you decrease the prices, yeah, like you begin to change your position at the market. So for example, now you are in low price segment and so on. So it may trigger the price war with your competitors, and then you will need to work with all those consequences in the long term. So the issue here, again, like when AI lacks context, and unfortunately in business it's like always, yeah, like we begin to lack the right decisions. The third issue is misaligned goals. Well, even without AI, I would say in business it's a frequent situation. Yeah, when different departments, they have different goals, and it's way too difficult to find alignment between the stakeholders. So the issue with AI is that AI doesn't understand what is the particular business goal if we do not tell about that. So that means that technically AI models are designed to find your optimal solution for all the specific input that you gave, so some specific metrics and so on. But this AI, let's call it optimization, may not be aligned with your company vision or strategy. And as any misalignment, what will be the result? Well, only negative outcomes, because no real miracles here. And actually, just a small example about this stuff. Well, again, classical GenAI case, create my campaign for marketing. Yeah. And what you do usually, you put, okay, like I want to have clicks. So I want people to click into my advertisement or whatever in Google. Yeah. So in this case, what AI is doing is actually AI is making very fancy, very sharp headers for your messages. Yeah. And again, no doubts that allow to increase the clicks. But at the same time, as a business, if you don't have any suitable information, yeah, like on that page where we click, what we have lower conversions, and as a kind of side risk that will happen actually, our reputation goes down, because user that was attracted by fancy header goes to something that is not fancy at all. Well, and this is a huge question if the user will come back or not. And my favorite, but this is very difficult to estimate, yeah, like, or somehow like to apply, it's actually the fact that AI is not human. Despite that currently we do speak with chatbots in real natural language, yeah, but AI is still not human. And for business, AI still has nothing to do with intuition, with ethical judgments, with empathy, and with foresight. And this stuff could be critical for any business decision maker. So let's go step by step here. First of all, what is the difference between AI and human decision maker? When we make the decisions as humans, we cannot say that we are completely data-driven. Yeah, we try, and it was super fancy, I think 5 years ago, to speak about data-driven decision-making everywhere. Yeah, but in reality, what's going on? So we combine our data analysis with kind of intuition, previous experience, and a lot of different factors around. And all that somehow is backed up by business context, even if you don't realize it. When we speak about AI algorithm, here the stuff is a little bit different. So AI operates with the information that we gave or information that was used during the training. And again, like it's patterns and something that actually on our side, what we provided. Yeah. And again, like sometimes in purpose, sometimes just because it's how it works. AI is lacking the necessary information for making, let's say, like value-based decisions. So that's why actually AI is missing some strategical capabilities, not soft skills, but really strategical capabilities for business. So let's go here one by one, because usually we do not speak about that a lot, yeah, because we prefer to compare probably data-driven aspects as it much more easier, yeah. But and also probably the second issue here that we do not have super like strict definition. But again, like let's see first human intuition. Well, I had troubles to find out a good really term on like definition what is intuition, but let's say that it's something that is your accumulated knowledge plus alpha plus that you cannot actually explain correctly. Yeah. So you take your experience plus intuition and you get your insight. Well, AI can get your experience if you provide the data. Well, with all other processes, we have a little bit of issues. So it's super clear here that insights might be different. The other issue is ethics. Let's assume that we are living in the perfect world, yeah, like, and we assume that actually whatever we do, we actually follow some ethical framework. I know that it's not always the case, yeah, but again, somehow, like humans, they are kind of closer to the questions of ethics than AI. AI is limited by algorithms and especially by the bias that I was talking a little bit like before. AI is limited by not understanding what else can be beyond the data. And of course, AI is limited by our tries to make it kind of neutral. Well, let me give you a small example here. No, I would say that a lot of us, we know about the 3 laws of robotics, yeah, like very old stuff, but where it's like clearly state that robot may not injure a human by action or inaction, yeah. And here you can see actually current ethical reality, yeah, where I'm asking ChatGPT that actually I want to kill a cat because I have a good reason for that, okay. Again, like just a theoretical question, no cats were hurt here. But as you see, even like despite that the reason was kind of important, yeah, like AI is still not able to provide the answer. So we are on different ethical realities. And of course, sometimes it's good. Yeah, like let's limit any issues that can be related to violence, harassment, and so on. But still, we need to understand that it's different. We are different, humans and AI. Okay. And yeah, pre-last probably, let me check. Yeah, pre-last, but for sites. AI is working on prediction. We take historical data, we find the patterns, and we do kind of prediction for the future. With foresights, we still have issues because foresights, it's kind of scenarios and planning that anticipate more changes and more data around the process. So AI is still limited on strategic foresights. And as business decision makers, we need to keep it in mind. And last but not least, it's empathy. When AI suggests some decisions for business, AI is not taking care a lot about empathy. Because again, like it's not for what AI was done. And sometimes humans' empathy can actually be converted to the business values. Just a small use case, and I would say that probably everyone, at least once per life, saw something similar. Yeah, like when we have some working issues, and for example, we have underperformance, and sometimes managers say that, okay, let's give some chance to people, and this chance can be actually converted to overperformance after. Yeah, not always, not for everyone, but I'm more than sure that from our experience, we have seen that. If we provide the data to AI, The answer will be less or more standard. In accordance to the data, let's fire the person and actions, that's all. And again, like sometimes the smartest decisions are actually the most human one. Again, not the rule. Yeah, like a lot of random stuff here. But again, sometimes AI can be wrong even here. Just like to summarize all that a little bit. Yes, so because again, like AI is not bad, AI is not good, it's a tool. Okay. And if we know the tool, we know actually how to make this tool profitable in some sense. So AI is excellent when we work with large data, yeah, with text data, with actually numeric data. That's the stuff that humans actually hate, and AI is okay with it. AI is super nice when you have clear rules. So if you can put all the information together, if you can explain correctly what should be done, well, you have good chances to actually receive good results. And of course, AI is super useful for repetitive operations and automations. So that means that there is a lot of value that can be brought there. Human is still okay in decision making. Yeah, like we cannot just eliminate them from the process. When we speak about non-standard situations, when we speak about lack of information or inability to give all the information to AI, when we speak about all that, I don't know, soft business stuff like ethics and so on, and when we speak about people management and strategy. Because here AI is still not on the level that we can propose for being a decision maker. And yeah, like what to do with all that? We are living in the time where we cannot just say, okay, we will move forward without AI. So that means that what we need to do, first, we need to understand limits. Then we need to understand what is applicable, what is not. So put away the hype, yeah, that AI is replacing humans, or again, like there will be some immediate transformations as soon as we put AI to business. No, you still need to deal with your data, yeah, first, and with what you are going to do. Then again, like when we balance AI and decision in business, we can actually have a good chance for nice outcome. Okay. So how it may work? There is a term that actually appeared, I cannot say recently, yeah, but it begins to be more used. So augmented intelligence. So not artificial, vice versa human, but artificial and human. So if we know the limits, if we know the rules, if we know the tools, we can actually try to set up a good collaboration between AI and humans. So we take AI and the strengths of AI, we balance human workload, and we reduce the risks because we still have human in this workflow, in this process. So first, it's data foundation. Again, we cannot move forward without good data. That's old issue, but it's still here. Secondly, it's integration of the context. If there is something in my head, it doesn't mean that AI has the same knowledge. So we still need human. We still need to help AI to understand the domain, to understand the reality of business. Then we need to not to forget about continuous feedback. Again, classical stuff, whatever you have as a process, you need to give a feedback on that process. So all the participants will learn. And again, like to promote, I would say, AI culture with human AI collaboration. So that's kind of loop that may increase the value, or again, like the profitability of AI in business. So to summarize that, some key takeaways. AI doesn't fail because it's a bad tool. It's a good tool, okay? But again, sometimes AI is struggling to understand what's going on, as there is not enough data or information around. A human, a decision maker, doesn't fail because of AI. Yeah. Because we use AI, we spend a lot of money on that, we receive something inappropriate, and that's all. No. Because we just forget the limit of a technology. And still, for, let's say, this new world with AI, we need to take care about data quality, because it's our reliability, about context around, about goals, and do not forget to explain goals to all the participants, and about actually humans that are still irreplaceable. So, yep, this is about AI in business. Currently, we are still not there, still failing, but again, like it's super promising in terms of future transformations. Thank you.